Yo man, so first of all, good fucking job if you're like eating healthy, healthy bulk, and you prefer to sacrifice the calories to eat healthy. That's a great thing. I also did a similar thing. If I was not able to reach the calorie goal, I would usually just eat less. I will not integrate with junk food, which is a great mindset. You're not falling into the junk food trap. So that's a good fucking job, because at the end of the day, this is what will happen. I will just, if I did it once, the next day I will go like, yeah, I mean, I didn't eat enough, right? And I did it on purpose just to eat the junk food. So that's a great mindset to have. So a few things to make a healthy bulk more easy. First of all, it's not easy, okay, I'll be honest. It's fucking hard, especially if you struggle to eat a lot, like most people. I mean, most people I speak to struggle to eat a lot. Especially if you are eating healthy, that's the hardest part. Because healthy food, okay, whole food is always filling, okay? It's full of water, it fills you up, often full of fiber and all of that shit that fills your stomach, and all of this stuff. So one thing, this is like a small tip, like a funny tip, because here is the thing. I like yogurt, okay? I always like the concept of yogurt and having a kind of a breakfast, not a breakfast, the breakfast that is in the middle of the day, not the morning one. I usually struggle to eat breakfast, and that will I will bring up a second point on that. I did a very big mistake there. So bulking yogurt. So bulking yogurt is simply a yogurt but high calorie. And I'm not talking about taking yogurt and adding some fat. No. This is a whole other thing that I'm very proud I discovered. I'm very fucking happy because I was so like amazed when I discovered it. So basically, take a box of heavy cream. Do you have heavy cream in your country? I think so. It's not as common as in America. I had to like kind of find it because it was kind of hard to find, but once you find it, it's this like box. Usually it is in cardboard, but it can be in any place, and it is kind of liquid. I expected it to be more solid, like a more dense. It was very liquid, okay? So you want to turn that into yogurt. It is very easy. You basically take a lemon, okay? And this is different from my secret yogurt method. It's like two other things, but basically you can take a heavy cream and put some lemon juice, okay? You usually take a lemon and cut it in half. This, by the way, the proportions I'm talking about will vary because it will vary from the acidity of the lemon. But usually I did 250 grams of heavy cream. I took half of a lemon and I squeezed it into the box, directly into the box of heavy cream. What this will do is basically have a like, fucking chemical reaction that is basically gonna condense the heavy cream. It will make it like a cream, okay? Literally, it becomes a cream. So you take that, and that's a yogurt. You just made a yogurt, but it is like 10 times, like exactly 10 times more calorie dense. So it may not take half a lemon. If it doesn't take half a lemon, go with a full lemon, but add as much acidity as it takes to, when you mix it, it starts to get dense. It will dense up, by the way. It's very crazy. So you just stir it around. You got some lemon juice, some acidic stuff in general. I usually use lemon because it's the most, neutral acid that I know. And you just mix that. Just mix it, add some lemon, mix it, and it should become a yogurt. Now you can garnish that with whatever you want, with some fruit, with some dark chocolate, which is very, calorie dense for being chocolate, and it's not full of sugar, so I prefer dark chocolate. Like I recently actually, well, I mean, not recently, I've like the last thing I added to my bulk diet was dark chocolate, because I realized it was like fucking calorie dense, and it was kind of not that bad, I mean, if you, depending on the bitterness, because there are brands that are very bitter, but other brands that are not that bitter, even if they are 90%. I usually go for the 90% dark chocolate. Like if you go below, I feel it's like too sweet, and it's kind of an excuse to eat junk food. So stick to the 90%. So that said, you can like garnish it with some. I will put a picture on how I garnished it. Very stylish picture, but you don't have to be stylish. You just have to throw some fruits in and some a little bit of dark chocolate, optional. I mean, you decide. Okay. So that's the general rule for the bulking yogurt. I really love that recipe. So the second tip is don't be afraid of fat. Okay, most of my bulking, okay, was done on a standard basically I had a macros app. By the way, I'm giving for granted you are using you're like basically counting your calories. Okay, I'm giving that for granted because I mean it's quite fucking impossible to bulk if you're not following if you're not tracking your calories. I find it very hard because you think you're ate enough but you actually didn't. It's frustrating as fuck. So I'm pretty sure you are using an application to track your macros. So when I set up the application, it asked me for my height, for my weight, for my activity level and shit, and it gave me a general broad range of amount of calorie that I had to eat. Okay, so it also gave me a distribution of the macros. Okay, meaning choose your plan. It was like standard or a low carb, high protein or shit. I chose like the standard, and it was like a split of how much fat, how much carbohydrates, and how much proteins. And I just went with that, and I never actually changed it. And I was trying to stick to that for some reason. I still thought that that fats were bad for you. I didn't honestly have a good reason. This is the funny thing. Once my brother asked me, "Yo, Fede, but what do you actually avoid fat?" And I was like, I have to find a reason. So, and I came up with the fact that carbs are better for energy than fats, even though like at the end of the day, they're not that different. Like as long as you eat some carbs, if you really want to maximize the energy output, even though like there is some argument that someone can run better on fats rather than on carbs, but the general rule is that if you are eating more carbohydrates, you will be more like explosive in the workouts. So I mean, I guess that can be a reason, but as long as you are eating a little bit of carbs, you will still have that effect. I was eating a lot of carbohydrates, okay, and this brings me to the second point of the carbohydrate thing. So breakfast, you remember breakfast? I mentioned breakfast. So I had breakfast. I had the rolled oats, not oatmeal, not 100 grams of oatmeal, like actual oats, like raw oats, like the one that are like smashed, the flat oats. I had 100 grams of those with milk. Okay, I filled an entire cup of oats and ate that in the morning. I later went and find out that oats are full of phytic acids. Okay, it is an anti-nutrient that prevents the absorption of zinc. Zinc is also crucial to the creation of testosterone and many other hormones. Okay, and I was eating that stuff every fucking day. I went to school. Probably felt like not very focused, because probably I was eating 100 grams of oats in the morning. Okay. So I have to be honest, I was going full discipline, like, yes, I have to eat. Fuck, I was hating eating breakfast. By the way, I woke up and all my morning routine, okay, I was very fucking, sluggish. My whole fucking routine was wake up as late as possible, by the way. And I had to prepare in like the 10 minutes my parents would pick me up with a car, and I have to like be so fucking ready that I have to basically eat all of that 100 grams of oats with milk. And it was so annoying. I usually went outside with a mouthful of oats and milk because I was not able to finish it at home. So I basically woke up kind of not really dressed up. I was probably already dressed up, and I would go in the kitchen and just make this shit and eat it. And this was my only activity in the morning. Okay, it took like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't know how much it took. Depending on how much time I had when I woke up, I will take all of that time between waking up and going away. I will take that in eating the breakfast. Okay, so very fucking big mistake. I left the switch on to eggs and bacon. It was way more tasty, to be honest, and also more, not calorie dense, also calorie dense, but yeah, I was so stressed about fitting the macros, like the macronutrient, the right amount of carbs, not enough fat, especially saturated fat. And this is a big one. I was avoiding a lot of saturated fat. Don't do that. Stupid idea. I developed gynecomastia, I developed high prolactin levels, I had low testosterone, like 248, and I developed gyno. Yeah, I had I was having my gland, like the mammary gland, was getting bigger and it was hurting. It was so fucking bad, bro. So you can fix that just by staying careful about what you're eating. Don't eat too much phytic acid. don't lower the fat intake. Like fat is the thing, like cholesterol, saturated fat. Okay, this stuff is the thing that makes up for your hormones. Okay, most of the times, and if you reduce that, you will just hurt your health. Okay, especially if you are a young man. Like people growing up need nutrients, and the carbohydrates have nothing that is necessary for your growth. Okay, there is nothing in carbohydrates, as far as I know, that is necessary. It's an essential carbohydrate. There is no such a thing as an essential carbohydrates. Okay, so that was one thing. Use fats. Don't be afraid of using fats. Fats are high calorie. Use fats when you eat. Don't be afraid of that. Don't worry about the calorie, like the macronutrient balance that the application gives you. This was my biggest mistake. I don't know why I made that, but don't worry about that. Just eat fat. Don't worry. So far we talked about the bulking yogurt, the cook satisfying. Did I mention it? No, maybe I didn't mention it. Just cook satisfying in a satisfying way, meaning okay. So this is probably the third. So we did bulking yogurt and don't avoid fat. Okay, and I'll tell you that you have to enjoy what you eat. Okay, enjoying what you eat. At the beginning I was very discipline driven. Like I just have to eat enough. Okay, I have to eat enough, and I just want to do that. But I discovered that if you like your food, like if you eat something that tastes good, you're actually more prone to eat that, and you are able to finish the meal. Okay, so, and you are also happy. Okay, because you eat something delicious. So if you don't always have your parents cook for you, and also like when they cook, you cannot count the calories. That was annoying for me. That is why I mostly cooked for myself while I was bulking, because I could not know how much ingredients, how many calories was in a meal that my mother prepared. I was just guessing, but that was not the best. So when you cook for yourself, make it pleasureful. Okay, and how do you make your food pleasureful? Obviously to the pleasure hypothesis. I made a video about that. I'm pretty sure you watched it if you are on this channel. But yeah, that was one thing. Make the food pleasurable. Try to follow the 6 pillars, and there are like a few recipes you can learn that you really love. Okay, I always say that recipes are useless. Your recipe have to be deleted because they are limiting and shit. I have also to say that they also were the starting point for me. I started with recipes and then later on moved to a non-recipe cooking style. Okay, I just follow my own instinct. But yeah, I mean, of course, if you're trying to bulk and you want to eat tasty food, try to follow a recipe that you like. I'll share one, maybe tomorrow, maybe today, depending. I will record it now. But it is basically a fried chicken, okay? Fried in butter, in clarified butter. And bro, that was one of the most delicious meals I've had. I really fucking love that. I will not stop. Actually, it's been a while since I've made that, because I've been focusing a lot on making, POV videos of me cooking random stuff. I never actually went back to like following an actual recipe. It could be fun, I really miss making that recipe. And even though that began to be like at the beginning that was a recipe I followed, but then I made it my own as always. So I just made a basically fried chicken, but fucking easy. Okay, no mess, no messy plates, no messy dishes you have to clean later. No messy like kitchen surface, like you're not spreading any fucking breadcrumbs all around. It's just easy, convenient, delicious as fuck. Okay, so find a few recipes that you enjoy. I will record that one today, but find a recipe you really enjoy. Try to eat that. You can also save it on your macros app if you have a recipe option. I usually had a recipe option where you could just like save ingredients and like insert them all at once. So that is one option. And yeah, like find a recipe you like, eat that, enjoy that. Maybe after a few weeks you get bored of that, so try another one. And once you cycle back with more recipes, you will kind of circle back to the first one and you will go on with that. So find a recipe you like. I will share one that I really like. Maybe you will like it too. Usually it is pretty loved. Very good recipe usually. Also very calorie dense because you use a lot of butter, and you have chicken and you have digestibility, all the pleasure stuff I talk about. So that is one thing. Another big improvement was when I discovered shakes. Okay, milkshakes, or however the fuck they are called. I don't know. Probably you already do this. I discovered it pretty late, but there is a few things you can do to milkshakes. No, not milkshakes. Protein shakes or whatever, to make them a little bit more calorie dense. So first of all, I don't know if there is any maniac that makes the protein shakes with water. If you do that, I don't know, I don't get you, very strange. Use milk, or better yet, okay, use heavy cream, okay, you know, remember the liquid stuff. Actually, you know what, I've never done this. It may turn out, because like heavy cream, if you whip it, it becomes whipped cream. So no, it may be something to experiment if you're bulking. Try to use heavy cream instead of milk. Very, very fucking dense. I don't know if that will work. Maybe it will turn into like whipped cream, like the, you know, the foamy cream. So I don't know if that's a good idea. No, just use milk just in case. Try also with whipped cream though. So yeah, calorie shakes, how the fuck they're called, are a big game changer. I usually had lunch. By the way, this is how much I ate. I had breakfast with some. I had oats and milk. Then I switched on to egg and bacon. And then, like, I would maybe, sometimes yes, sometimes not, eat something at school. And then I will come back home and I will eat a big meal. Okay, so far we have 2 meals, breakfast and lunch. And then I will have dinner. The thing is here, so after lunch I usually had a protein shake or whatever the fuck shake, a calorie shake. And I will just sip on it. So an annoying thing that usually happens when you make protein shakes is that over time they will kind of get more solid, not really liquid anymore. So that is like the only annoying thing about like calorie shakes, because after a bit they kind of dry out, they start to solidify. So I guess drink that as fast as you can. I don't fucking know, but yeah, that is a very convenient way to get your calories in. Not really stressful, like maybe like eating a solid meal, you can just chuck that and just literally command your brain, just swallow that. And so that's one thing, and that is pretty much it. So we did bulking yogurt, a quick way to have a middle day breakfast with a heavy calorie yogurt, because I love yogurt, but I don't like it. That I don't like the fact that it is very low calorie. Great in a cut, but in a bulk not really. So bulk yogurt, could cook in a satisfying way following the pleasure hypothesis if you are improvising your cooking. But better yet, okay, this is probably the best tip of the video. Find a few recipes that you fucking love, experiment around, take inspiration. I will make the fried chicken video, very quick way to have something delicious. And don't be afraid of fat. Include fat in your diet. Don't be afraid of fat. And shakes. So we have 4 kind of tips. I hope that helps, and yeah, tell me if you have any more questions. As always, I try to guess, I try to help by guessing, but if there is a specific thing I didn't mention, or you maybe want more like insights, just tell me in the comments.